Oh, sorry, didn't realise I was still muted there, reading the intro to myself. Hi everyone, welcome to ZSR. Today we have 64-bit Link versus Battlecats86 running Skyward Sword Randomizer lower bracket round 3. The setting today is standard. Tracking today we have Lava Plume and Triforce Explorer, and commentating we have myself and CJ07. Say hi CJ.
Hey, hello guys. I am excited for this matchup.
Same here. Any predictions for how it's going to go?
64 and Battlecats are both very strong runners. I think Battlecats might have a little bit of a executional edge over 64, or maybe more of a consistency edge. 64's highest highs are probably higher, but his lowest lows are much lower by comparison.
Fair enough, so 64 is really good. We're going to be seeing a good run there. Otherwise, Battlecats were going to win through consistency.
Yeah, that's my prediction here. I think Battlecats is going to win out on consistency here. Battlecats was our number 1 seed coming in from the bracket stage. No, he wasn't. Was he? I'm losing my mind. I need to check now.
Same.
I think he was. Let me just double check. No, he was not. He was this 2 seed. That's right.
Yeah.
He felt a kick hot in the winners' quarters, and has trounced a Mario runner to reach the round 3 of the losers bracket here. So our runs will be off here in just a second. So
yeah, whoever wins this is going to be against Jaznix next.
Yep, Jaznix, who threw his match. So. Alright, let's see what Fledge gives us. Fledge has the opportunity to set the pace for the whole run. But just junk today.
Yep.
Battlecats on the mythical low battery. I didn't see the dungeons. I wasn't paying attention.
That looked like Skyview, Earth Temple, and Cistern, unless I read wrong. Rolling the easy mode to do.
Those 3 dungeons are either the best or the worst case scenario for our runners. Yeah. Depends on how the seed opens up, because Cistern can be quite a piece of work. And so we will be looking for what our first item here on Scale of 0 is going to be. I don't expect to see much deviation from our runners here. I think there's a chance that Battlecats goes for the early Sky play, especially if we see a Elden starting pillar.
I believe it is Elden start, because I didn't see either Lineru or Farn pillars just yet.
I haven't seen them yet, but I am notorious for missing the starting pillars until I reach the goddess statue in my own play, so. That's a heart container. That's not a good item. Well, our runners are going to be happy to see that. All right, wow. Us SS runners tend to want at least 1 heart for Rando to get to Horde at the end of the run, because it gives us 1 extra hit.
Battlecats making a bit magic fail and 64-bit Link going by it.
Yeah, 64 is going to gain a little bit of time here, but with this dungeon layout, I like Battlecats' play. Assuming that we are correct that it is Skyview, Earth Temple, and Cistern. It is an Elden starting pillar.
I can confirm it's Skyview, Earth Temple, and Cistern by looking at the trackers.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot that that's a thing that we could have done. Was that Fire Shield earrings inside of the...
I believe so, yes. Yes, it was.
That Goddess Bloom is going to be nice for our runners, because that's a free 100 rupees.
If we start getting struggling for money, it means nobody has to start doing grass cutting.
Yeah. I mean, I doubt we'll see... Ooh, an early ballad is really interesting. Alright, so I was right. With an Elden Star, Battlecats is going to dip out to Sky. It'll be interesting to see if he does actually go. Oh my god, Battlecats. It will be interesting to see if he goes all the way to Elden here, though. With earrings, you can make some interesting plays with Back in Time. You could push into Deep Elden for an extra hint, and then check the 2 free checks. Since they're out of logic, but... Ooh, an extra wallet. That's going to be really nice for 64.
Going to be good.
Doesn't really matter if money is required. That's always just a great safety net to have early in a seed.
Yeah, I don't know,
it means
how many runs would have wasted so many good gold rupees in a row.
It means that you cannot waste money. I see Chest on the Sandy Slope. And Beetle being Spirit of the Sword. So that is one of the dig spots in Elden that is dead. That'll make our runners pathing a little bit nicer. Although, if our runners get mitts and are strapped for cash, that is a pretty free gold rupee to get. Speaking of gold rupees, if 64-bit finds a projectile in the second chest here, I could totally see him going for the extended Sky Loop here and come back to Skyloft to spend the money.
Yep.
But no, just more money. I doubt we'll see him get the rupees here, but the rupees in Cave would guarantee that he can get the 50 and the 300 item if it's necessary. So it's not really a bad play.
Oh no, he's going for them.
Totally respectable play. I probably would do the same thing, honestly, but it's kind of just a coin toss whether or not that's a good or bad decision. You lose so little time, and you stand to gain so much, potentially. So, risk versus reward, as always.
Big spot RPM?
He did not do it, so I assume he is not going to.
Yeah.
I don't know that we'll see 64 do it. 64 is big on meme plays when he's not in a tough racing position, which he definitely is in this seed, so... He's definitely the one who's playing from behind here. So...
64 going to Thunderhead. Good play for the moment, especially getting that early chest that's usually logic locked behind mitts.
Yeah, I really like this play from 64. If nothing else, it nets him a hint.
Yeah.
And if he's meta-gaming a little bit against Battlecats, he probably expects that Battlecats this. That's Elden Volcano.
Volcano Swords and Harp and Mines.
That's claw shots in Volcano. Alright, so Battlecat's taking a little bit of a safe path there. 64 going to skydive down and drop down here to get this chest out of Logic. Logic expects you to use the mitts to get up here.
Ooh! Early sword. That might get him an extra check in Thunderhead, depending
That gets him an extra check in Thunderhead. The Z-Gang rises once again. It's a bit of a... divisive split in this community if like how you should sequence your Thunderhead checks, because the theoretical optimal path is to do the hint and then the chest and then Isle of Song for this exact reason.
Yeah.
You always want to do the chest before Isle of Song in case you get a sword here. There is an edge case where you already have White Sword or Master Sword coming in for the first time, and therefore an extra sword doesn't matter.
But that's the exception, not the rule.
Yeah. In which case you would just start with the hint stone and go around. Ooh, 64 got a frame perfect side hop there to skip a cutscene.
Don't see that too often these days.
Yeah. What?
Oh, and Battlecats.
What just happened? That is the first time I've ever seen that. So yeah. So 64's the Z method getting paid off there. And the reason you want to start with the hint, I'd actually never explained that, is in case you get a Thunderhead Baron hint.
Yeah. Well,
it's a pretty rare occurrence to see Thunderhead Baron in Thunderhead, but...
Yeah.
Although we did get the Tumbleweed, as chat is reminding us.
Should be a Tumbleweed meme somewhere just for that. It's always fun to see it.
Ooh, Beetle and Ledge. That's interesting.
Do you remember where Battlecats got claw shots from?
Elder Volcano. In Crawl Space Chest, I believe.
Yeah. Gut right now is telling me that 64 might be going Pumpkin before going to Elden.
He's going to talk to Oriel here first, at least. He's going to do what we refer to as a reverse sky loop, where you go backwards around the sky, effectively, because usually you start over by the Elden Pillar. But with this early Ballad play and the early Thunderhead play, this makes a lot of sense.
Dense power from Battlecats. Betro Ecloctos. That's an interesting one. Pretty sure that means Betro either probably has a tablet, scale, or whip.
Yeah, we could see that. He could also have a beetle for hook beetle access to Deepland area. It could be bomb bag mitts. There's quite a few situations. Earth? Temple to Scaldera. That's a cool hint.
Sots Mines.
Did you say that there was a Betrosots hint on the previous stone?
Yeah, and Betro Path to Coloctos.
So there's Bat-Sots and Betro Path to Coloctos?
I don't think it was Betro Sots, just Betro Coloctos.
We'll see the hint again from Battlecats here. So we're up to 15 crystals.
Yep, and I believe that makes mine stacked because mine's already has hinted harp.
That mine has two items, has harp and another required item.
So both main checks and mines are going to be good. Did that say which trial was dead there? I missed which trial it said was dead.
I didn't look at it.
Anyone in chat see that?
Which hint stone was it? Was it 64's hint stone or Battlecats'?
It was one Battlecats just got 64. I'd got that one earlier, but I missed it there as well. There's no top chest of skippers instead as well. That'll take a bit of stress off people.
Someone checks an Elden Trial dead, so...
And as you said, it's also skipping dig spot RBM. Oh, Battlecat's getting mugged. Beetle was in Turf, Claws was in Elden Main, and E-Rings I can't remember, but I believe they were in Skyloft. Yeah, 64 and Battlecats repeating each other corrects now.
Battlecats, once he returns to Skyloft, will be, or now that he's back to Skyloft, will be an interesting case. Because Beetle is in play for him. And so is the Waterfall Island hint. Battlecat's gonna go for a trick here called Bat Warp, which will let him get down here at night, or without going to night.
Yep. Honestly, one of my favourite tricks when I get discovered, because I hate it constantly needing to turn at night to get the first bat check.
Yeah, it's really interesting how much the meta has shifted with Patro now because of that. I also want to see, post Season 2. We have a lot of things coming post Season 2 in terms of cool new, there's a bunch of cool new features in the rando. There's all kinds of new
and those days we've been doing a few that have been including the stamina potion and Lineru.
Yeah, there's a lot of factors.
Emerald tablet on Patrol.
Emerald tablet on Patrol. But yeah, beyond that, there's chances for new features that will allow us to make the day-night cycle more relevant again. Which will be really interesting. Those options being like a reduced Beatrice conversation count to make her not terrible if you have to brute force it, as well as the potential for single crystal shuffles. So, lots of cool stuff coming down the pipeline for this randomizer once this tournament is over.
Yes, that does satisfy Path to Coloctos. Oh, Battlecat's doing waterfall skip.
I really like this decision from Battlecats here.
Yeah.
We don't get to see this very often in non-swordless modes, but this pathing just happened to work out really well for him, and it is like we know in the comms booth that it's going to work out very well for him.
Very well. He's probably hoping for rupees in here. We know he's definitely getting them, so that makes it all the better for him.
Yeah. Rupees are basically the best case scenario for him here. because he's going to end up back on Skyloft and can check Beetle, which we know is Sots.
Oh, 64 changed their mind about doing Dig Spot RBM, I think.
This is an interesting decision from him. He could be hedging bets against like a weird Elden Sot situation. I'm not a huge fan of this play. In my opinion, if you're gonna do Dig Spot RBM, you should do it immediately.
Yeah, I believe Elden Sots was covered by clause, but might be.
I mean, it's not guaranteed that that's the item. It was.
Yeah, it's not guaranteed, but there's a good chance.
Because Elden Sots was Thunderhead's in Logic, so.
Let's see about these hints on Battlecat's end.
This is going to be a new hint, which is going to be great. Lake Floria is barren, and Spirit Crystals is dead.
Let's have a look at this Beetle Sots. Oh, whip. That's a good one. Especially for Battlecats who already has the green tablet. I believe all they need now is scale and they'll have full access to Cistern. I have not been paying enough attention because I'm now wondering how 64-bit Link got to where he is right now. Two more hints. Sword and Cistern and Beetle and Skyview.
Did 64 do the RBM to get up here?
I believe he did, because I wasn't paying enough attention. Next thing I know, he's up here. I was paying more attention to Battlecats at the moment. But yeah, last two hints we just got there from 64-bit Link with Sword and Cistern and Progressive Beetle and Skyview.
So Battlecat's gonna get his sword. Neither runner getting tripped up by the Thunderhead layout here.
Yep.
I wonder if we'll see 64 go into Earth Temple here. Going into Earth Temple here is always such a weird situation. Like, it's such a weird decision to make because you have the whole thing with the fact that you're out of logic at this point, and in other game or in previous iterations of the settings that we raised on when Earth Temple was closed a very long time ago, that is, you were jumping even further out of logic by going into it at this point. But it's so the open makes such a difference here.
Yeah, the one thing I'll say that going 64-bit Link's favour, if he does go into Earth Temple, is there is a Earth Temple path to Skaldera, so odds are it's going to be bombs in there, considering I believe it.
Yeah, I think at this point it has to be bombs. I guess there's a couple of edge cases with myths logic. The important thing is that Earth Temple path to Skaldera cannot be the item that the game wants you to get up to Deep Elden with.
Yeah.
Which I think... Okay! That's really good.
We have all 5 sword locations now. Since we've got a hinted sword inside Cistern.
Yeah.
Now it's just harp and required items to complete dungeons.
We know harp is in mines, so we need the amber tablet. We are amber scale from go mode? Question mark.
Assuming bombs is in Earth Temple.
Oh no, whip is on beetle. So we are amber tablet and scale from go mode then, I believe.
Yep. And considering that mines is also a sorts item, personally I believe mines is going to have scale.
The harp is in mines, that's why we need amber.
No, harp is name hinted as mines, but we also have a mines sorts.
Yeah. Which means it could also be scale, but it could also be Elden access or something like that if your Farron pillar is the next logical step, which I think it is at this point. This decision from 64 to go up to Elden and then do up to Earth Temple and then do the RBM could pay huge dividends for him.
Especially if bombs is an Earth Temple. That will help get the second check in mines that's bombs locked. Yeah. So this could be a massive go by.
If we don't get bombs here for 64, we actually learned some very interesting things about the Earth Temple layout.
Yeah.
Because I think if bombs are not in one of these first few checks, then I think it means that our logical access to Deep Earth Temple has to be Hook Beetle. And bombs have to be in the boss key chest or something like that.
Oh, 64 will be able to get the extra crystals while at Beetle later.
$64 is going to do the bridge RBM here, so I assume we're going to see him do Bombflower Skaldera regardless of the fact if he gets, as long as he gets the boss key, I think we will see him do it.
Don't have the hero part inside.
He's not doing the RBM right away, which is interesting. My money's on Vanilla Bomb Bag here.
Yeah, my money's on boss key bomb bag.
Was that a bottle on Fairies at the Summit and Dead Skyloft Trial?
Wasn't paying attention.
It was definitely Dead Skyloft Trial. Okay. I think it was bottle on Summit Dig. Battlecats likes to do slingshot here. He could be sinking a ton of time. Oof, 64 got a hard piece there. I think he was anticipating death warping, potentially. Oh, I don't know why he would death warp here. He's in a really awkward position. Alright, so we have a deep Earth Temple path hint. It could also be the first chest if it's myths. So yeah, so there's basically two cases now. Either our access to Deep Elden is myths, and Bomb Bag is on the first chest. Bomb Bag or the second beetle is on the vents chest in Earth Temple. Or Hook Beetle is our Deep Elden access, and we can have Bomb Bag anywhere except the vents chest. We do need either Mitz or Hook Beetle to get up to Scaldera as well to put Boss Key Bomb Bag into logic. I almost need to pull up an instance of the tracker myself and double check my logic, because Earth Temple and Deep Elden have some very complex logic, and there's some very complex interactions with their logic.
One thing I think I'm missing, how's 64 going to commit changes in Earth Temple without bombs? Because I can't remember how you do it without those again.
There's a bunch of things he could do. Okay. He could go back and blow up the other boulder again if he really needed to. I think the Lizalfos would be a commit. What is it? Is that a medal? Or Battlecat says what it looks like. So yeah, this is the bridge RBM. He can also commit with the bridge text here, I believe. If memory serves. 64, are you okay? Yes. Yeah. Or the cutscene, not the text. There's no text here. So they have Beetle.
If that keys had actually attacked him in time there, I would have finally said keys are useful for something.
Yeah. So, okay, so there is still potentially a third option here. And that is Bomb's access to Deep Lineru, in which case Hook Beetle is the path to Scaldera. Potentially.
Don't believe that's possible, because I'm pretty sure Hook Beetle's been hinted.
Has Hook Beetle been hinted?
Believe
Do we
so,
know where
yes.
the second beetle is? There it is.
There's bombs. Yeah, let me see if I've wrote
Okay, so
it
he
down.
never did this check. Okay. That was an interesting decision to not do. Oh no, this is a different check. I thought this was a. Okay, I understand. I understand precisely what is happening with 64's pathing now.
Yeah, Beetles and Skyview, so it is. Hook Beetles and Skyview hinted.
Okay. Alright. So yeah. So I think Hook Beetle is our logical Deep Elden access. Unless Battlecats happens to stumble across Mitz here. Very rare that you see a logical Deep Elden, or a logical Hook Beetle Deep Elden access. Or
Yeah, I've
logical...
never actually seen it myself.
Yeah.
It's always been Mitz or bombs.
Yeah. And this bomb bag location is in logic with just Hook Beetle in this situation. Thank you, Chrome, for just randomly playing a YouTube video in my ears when I'm trying to commentate.
God. Probably when you did your browser release that you hovered over the tab.
Yeah, that's exactly what
That's
happened.
one thing I'm not happy with what Chrome did when they're making it so when you hover over a tab it reloads them if it's not been used in a while.
Yeah. I mean, it's partially because I just had to restart my browser. And there's the dragon sculpture.
Yep. Glad it's there, because if we didn't find it until boss chest and then it wasn't there either, it would have been dig spot, which would have been heartbreaking.
Which really sucks. Yeah, 64, I think at this point has a massive advantage.
Yes.
I'm not gonna say that he's converted it into a lead yet.
Yeah, it's just massive advantage so far. It'll become a lead if manages to find the linear tablet before Battlecats, in my opinion. That's the big thing I'd say that would give him the proper lead.
Yeah. The linear tablet is the boogeyman of this seed, it seems like. Every seed has a boogeyman.
Yep.
I would really love to see 64 win this match and throw my prediction even further out the window.
I don't even remember what my prediction was.
Oh, okay. Apparently my prediction for the bracket has gone up 4 places since the last time I looked. So that's cool.
Yeah, I didn't have an account when I made my prediction, so I don't even know what mine is anymore.
My entire, losers round 3 is wrong.
I think the one thing that everyone had right in their brackets, no matter who you were, was who was going to be in the finals. Hands down. I doubt MD chose that wrong.
Well, there's some people who, threw their picks for the memes.
Yeah, for the memes. And, man.
Alright, so there is an item in the vent chest, so that's gonna be at the back of 64's mind for the rest of the scene. Ooh, you hate to see that from Battlecats.
What was that in Battlecats?
Red Rupee on Slingshot.
Oh! That is the sting.
Yeah, that's gonna sting. That's gonna sting, especially if 64 manages to skip it. If 64 does it, it's really not a big deal that Battlecats just kind of got...
Yeah. Battlecats wanted Floria's solely for the hint because they don't have scale and they know that Floria's hinted dead.
Yeah. This is fine because he's gonna get the statue and the hint, and then he's just gonna walk back out and then walk back into main and go to Skyview. So this is absolutely a fine play. I actually think it is the correct play pathing-wise, but I don't know that for sure. Spiral Charge in Farronwood's trial, and Owlin dead. Oh, does Battlecats not know Floria is dead?
Battlecats does know Floria is dead. That was on the...
That was the waterfall hint, right?
Yep.
Battlecats cannot enter Cistern. He does not have scale. Honestly, I think that this was just a muscle memory mistake from Battlecats.
Yeah. But I'd put money on the fact that scale is in the other check-in mines.
There's a couple of ways, it depends on where Amber is. Although knowing that Hook Beetle is in Skyview, it seems pretty likely that Amber is... Or that the Sots in Mines is not going to be related to Earth Temple. There's still a couple edge cases like double Mitzlocked swords or something like that. Like if there's a second Mitzlocked sword on the dig spots or something like that, which makes Mitz Sots.
Yeah, I'm curious if 64 is going to do another Thunderhead run before getting Master Sword or not to get that final
I don't think we will see him do that. The white sword he has now is enough to get the last check.
I started saying that before realizing the other day got 2 of them.
Yeah. The issue with going back now is that Nader's is a sometimes hint, like the Nader's wisdom check is a sometimes, or the Din's power check, excuse me, is a sometimes hint. And it's a pretty big detour for him at this point, especially if something like Levias is weighing at the back of his mind.
Oh, imagine Levias having linear tablet. That would be gutting.
Yeah. Alright, nothing good for 64 on Scaldera Heart Container.
I'm pretty sure you can't even get into Cistern at all without scale, am I right?
You cannot get into Cistern without scale at all. Cool sound effect for 64 there. Alright, so 64 is the first on the dungeon board here at 3710, completing Earth Temple in a Skyview seed, nonetheless.
Walk of shame for Battlecats.
Big yikes. No, he's just going to use the beetle fight, yeah. More money for 64. Have we seen all of the beetle checks at this point? I believe we have, right?
I think we've seen them all, yes. Battlecats didn't get the 300 crystal pack, but did see it.
Alright, yeah, 64 is going to head to Summit here. And
yeah,
I really like this play here since he has claws. He gets a hint.
And if he somehow gets total, then he can get the second hint.
Yeah.
It's rare, but it's possible.
Yeah. He does have access to 3 checks, so there could be a bottle in there. There are 5 bottles still hanging out, although one of them might be in Summit anyway. It might be in the dig spot. The one downside to this is that he has no easy way out of Summit.
Yeah.
Without a bottle. Turf to G1. So that beetle is required.
What was that?
And it's not turf.
Turf.
Yeah. So turf to G1 indicates that the beetle is required, which means there's a key in 3 Eyes. A key of some variety. It might be
Did you see the other hint?
I did not.
Let's hope it wasn't bad. Oh, that's bat 30 available to 64. Bit bat 40 if you want to do loose.
Wait, the hint said key on 3 Eyes? Great.
Oh, right before the temple and all.
Key on 3 Eyes, and it tells you where the beetle for said 3 Eyes are. Another very small advantage that 64 is going to have over Battlecats and Skyview is that he's going to have bombs. So he'll be able to take the shortcut there.
I was thinking that myself right as you said it.
Yeah. It's so rare that that's actually relevant, but that'll save 64 like probably 30 seconds or so.
Now let's see what we've got. Sots and Skyview. I'm tempted to say that second that Skyview Sots is going to be a tablet.
I think it has to be. I guess it could be scale technically. I don't know how that resolves anything else, but I think at this point 64 should have all he needs to have this seed's layout figured out. But then again, it is very stressful to do that in real time.
Yeah. Like the layout I've got figured out in my head right now after he goes to Beedle and gets Whip, would be saying that the Skyview sorts would be tablet, the getting Harp in Mines along with, if I'm right again, Scale will give him access to Cistern, which also has his final sword, which...
Yeah. The problem with that is that there are probably too many edge cases that...
too many edge cases, but that's the path I've got in my head.
Yeah. There's unfortunately quite a few edge cases.
The only thing that my logic's missing in my mind is if they have Mitt sitting somewhere hidden to make easier access to Elden.
Yeah. It seems like Heedle's gonna be their access to Elden, though.
Yeah.
Also, 64 using a bit save to get out there. I did say that he doesn't have an easy way out, but that he's in somewhat easy way out, especially because he's going back to Skyloft here.
Yep, he's got a lot of Skyloft checks to do right now, especially with all that money. Close to check closet.
So at this point, I believe 64 is just doing things we've seen Battlecats do. So we're kind of all eyes on Battlecats here to find out what's going on in Skyview. He was not able to check...
Oh, thanks for mentioning that, chat. Done spell charge wrong and did it with a D.
Sprout, he will not be able to check the dig spot. But
unless I'm wrong, 64-bit technically has access to Bat 50 with 15 list right now.
I have no idea what the crystal counts are.
64-bit just got 25. There's 10 on Beetle, and with Claw Shots and Beetle, I believe they have access to the remaining 5.
Okay. Yeah, in that case, he should, as long as he has access to 35. I doubt we will see him do Bat 50. I'd say that there's a non-zero chance we see him do get up to Bat 40 before going, which would be really nice for him.
Definitely getting 40, because it looks like going 5 loose at least. And if they go a Beetle before, they're definitely getting...
there's no reason for him to not.
The weird thing is going to be is if any Patros has crystals as one of his options, that will give 50. If he goes for 10.
It's really interesting. Bat 40, or like this crystal layout for 64 is really interesting because he has the ability to get to 40, and 40 is kind of the magic number in these settings because 50 very rarely has anything, and 50 is a sometimes hit, and we see it pretty frequently.
If 64 is going towards Beetle right now and they go there with 30, as they're just getting, they may end up going to Beetle, then going to Patrol, then going to Beetle and getting their tendon and go back to Patrol again, wasting a little bit of time.
I don't see any reason that he wouldn't go to Beetle right now. He's going to pick up this crystal and I believe sleep.
Yeah. Fair enough.
There's definitely merit to the idea of leaving it night so that you can open the gravestone and not have to do Bat Warp, because if it is already night, opening the gravestone is faster than Bat Warping. Bat Warping is just faster when you otherwise don't need it to be night. Oh, 64 is upset because he doesn't have max rupees now. 600 is like the magic number for Beetle because usually you won't need to spend all 600, and 650 is
need all 600.
And 650 is the maximum that you can spend on Beetle in these settings.
Yeah, due to a crystal pack being on 300, it does need the 6.
Was there an important item on 103?
Also crystals.
Okay, so he is gonna spend all 600.
Yeah, because 200 is whip, 300 is crystals, and the big 300 there, as you see, is also crystals.
Yeah. 64 are gonna be very happy that he did farm his money back. That's the one downside to 64's pathing decision here. Your Average Link, one of our top runners, swears by not doing Paro before Beetle because of the chance that you either waste money or get mugged for it. But 64's pathing basically forces you to do it. There's no reason not to, I should say. Because he could just have not done it. So yeah, there was a key in 3 Eyes, which we knew. I'm surprised Battlecats didn't just bit warp, honestly. Because bit warping is faster than getting a known key in 3 Eyes. So Battlecats having some trouble with the Deku Babas here. But he should make this just fine. Yeah, he's fine. At least I think the bit warp is faster than getting a known key in 3 Eyes. Someone better at the game than me, correct me if I'm wrong. I know Jasnix is here. He would know. It's really weird seeing Battlecats make these minor, like, micro routing mistakes. Because usually Battlecats has pretty decent micro routing. But 64's micro and macro routing so far this seed have just been dead on.
On point.
Yeah. And, like, part of it is absolutely just luck. 64 is getting very lucky this seed, but it's rando gonna rando, and
yep.
decision making,
high reward, and he's making high risks.
Yeah. I mean, he hasn't even been playing super risky. Like, I think the riskiest play he made was Deep Elven, but he also had the path to Scaldera, the ET to Scaldy him at that point, which makes that play so much more reasonable than doing it blind.
Yeah, because anything they got inside Earth Temple would be somewhat useful somewhere else.
Yeah. There's the beetle in Skyview. Alright, so Battlecats has got a 50-50 if he's dead-ended here. I actually don't think he can be dead-ended. I think this is our last in logic check, potentially.
Oh,
never mind.
Bellows.
64 finding Bellows immediately to prove me wrong. And BGAT's getting me H anyway, so... H.
And arrows. That'll help for the Clock Toss fight at least.
Yeah, that will, indeed. It'll be nice, at the very least. Honestly, this race is really looking bad for Battlecats the more this race continues.
Like, it's like Battlecats is playing in logic, but 64-bit Link's playing for the hints.
Yeah.
Best way to describe
hints are really strong in Season 2. And it's just like a result of a combination of things. The meta, the strength of hints. They're actually not as strong as they used to be, which is hilarious. But...
One thing that got me, did we resolve the Skyview sorts?
We have not yet. I was actually just about to come.
Because if they have to get
not doing Molara here.
Who's closest? 64 by a decent margin.
Are we gonna get a French vanilla tablet? Or is it gonna be locked on the dig spot?
I was about to say there, if they have to get mitts, then that dig spot could be the Linero tablet. Depends on what's on this spot.
Alright.
If this isn't a sorts item... No, that's tablet. I was going to say, if that wasn't tablet, the mitts could have been the bomb lock location that 64 probably going to get on the way. If it was dig spot, 64
see, like, tablet in Linear, or Linear tablet in Skyview is like one of the only things that could give Battlecats a chance to fight his claws way back in this.
Yeah. And it's just a chance, it's not a guarantee, it's not a massive
Okay,
lead.
it was an empty bottle in Fairs of the Summit. Okay, cool.
It's just a chance he's got now, and it has to
he's got to make a lot of correct decisions now. With all of this.
Can Battlecats open that first mines check with Hook Beetle?
Yeah.
Okay.
He can full clear mines with Hook Beetle.
I was going to say, if he couldn't, then Battlecats would make a little decision error there.
This is with Battlecats' knowledge, the correct decision.
Yeah.
Like, 99% of the time. There is the 1% where you have weird Scaldera path logic and you don't want to go to mines first, but I think the only situation where that happens is if you have a weird bomb location. So yeah, 64, I assume, is not going to do Slingshot. I don't think he killed the Machi Bakodlins. which means he's going to save a little bit of time over Battlecats, but he's also going to lose a lot of that, or a bunch of that time back checking the bomb checks. So, electing to not do Great Tree right now. 64 is just, like, decision-making is risky, but it's correct. And as the reasonable underdog in this race, it is absolutely an understandable play to make.
Warnask at 64 might make, I doubt it, but it's something that he might do is quick clear sky view and then go back through if he doesn't get the item on the end. It's a possibility. It's a small one, but it's there.
Yeah, that's a very small possibility. Although with the hint... Oh, there's oh! That's potentially a SOTS item for Battlecats. Because if there's something on Vent Chest in ET or on the dig spots in Elden...
Yeah.
That is exactly the situation Battlecats needs to claw back into this.
That is exactly what it needs. If both these items inside the main mine aren't both sorts items, then Battlecats has a good idea where to go for this.
Yeah. He'll waste a little bit of time doing like the back of turf, which isn't that big of a deal, but...
Oh no, what you doing, Battlecats?
You need the... Yeah, he forgot about this. Alright, here's the funny hint stone again. $64 visibly confused over that hint, I think. That's a funny hint stone because
I think that actually means that Mets could have been locked Deep Elden, because if you're meant to be here before you're doing Earth Temple, as soon as you beat this temple here, then you'd be going.
Well, you have the appeal for Deep Elden access, so technically, logically, Deep Elden access is in logic before.
I believe you could do it either way.
Did Battlecats take a death?
Think so.
Yes, Skyview Dig Spot could have something. We know that it is an item because we have found the map, and we know it's not a small key, so... One stab, one kill. B-Cats, you need to bomb the... Oh no, Battlecats.
Battlecats, that's the worst
does
thing to do right now.
Does he not know that he can do that?
Or does he keep forgetting?
Also, Battlecats having issues with his Wiimote, it seems. Yeah, the dig spot cannot be scale, but...
I think what killed Battlecats was a mishit with his beetle last time and caught the bomb on the floor.
Oh yeah, it could be. I think you are correct. That was a clean drop though. Well, dig spot can be an item. There are some edge cases because, like, we could have some weird situation with only one bottle in logic and it be the dig spot in Volcano Summit. There's the Hylian shield.
That means that Mets are most likely a SOTS item.
No, they are 100%. Because we haven't found Harp yet. So this last check in mines is Harp.
Yeah. What I was talking about, it wasn't dig spot, it was the fact that, see, because you're meant to be outside Skyview before you check Earth Temple, it means that if you complete Skyview first and go to Lanero and get the Mets, then the Mets could be available to take you into Deeper Elden. So you've got two possible options that logically take you through Deeper Elden.
Yeah. I believe that logic will have expected you to have used Hook Beetle because of the way spheres work.
Oh yeah, I'm terrible trying to remind how spheres work half the time.
Nah, Battlecats controller will last him the rest of the race, probably.
Is that vanilla map?
Yeah, that's a vanilla map. You can get probably 6 to 8 hours on your low battery on your Wiimote. There's the heartbeat.
64-bit warping.
Yeah. This is the right decision, I believe, from 64. Because he skips 3 eyes. He has to go do the fight for... Like, he has a little bit of awkward pathing, but...
Biggest mistake Battlecats can do now from this point is to stay in Lineru.
He doesn't have a lot to do in Lineru. He's going to be forced to leave. This is, I think, officially now potentially too close to call.
Yeah.
Again. If it wasn't for the fact that Battlecats got mitts here, 64 would still have a big advantage with that sword placement. But the fact that Battlecats is going to get the sword and 64 is going to have some awkward pathing on the return trip because of the RBM. This scene is case in point in both do and don't do dig spot RBM, which is funny. The dichotomy of SSR. BCat's trying to do cool strats. That was a cool strat, nonetheless.
Something I think would be fun is if when you kill an enemy that drops a semi-rare treasure, if it randomizes which one it gives you. That'd be pretty fun.
That'd be funny, but
that
would be hell in like bingo and stuff.
It'd be hell in bingo, but it'd be amusing.
Honestly, the fact that it would be in hell in bingo, it makes me want to do it in bingo even more.
Hopkins drop key swings, keys drop something else like that, but it just rotates. So it's a guaranteed drop of that item, it's just the mob that drops it's randomized.
Yeah.
But in very short order, this is going to turn into a scale hunt.
I don't even know that it's going to be a scale hunt. I think scale just has to be mitts locked, so either Vent's chest or one of the 4 dig spots we haven't seen.
Or it could be deeper turf. Never mind.
Why are mitts sots?
Maybe because they're a possible option into Deeper Elden, that's the only thing I can think.
They're only sots for that if they're forced.
Oh. What else? I can't think of anything they could be locking. Maybe...
No, Hook Beetle is sufficient to get into the back of Earth Temple.
Yeah, I was thinking that it might be looking at...
It can't be the harp. That's the stats item, unless we got a bug. Which I don't think happened. It's standard. 64 gonna save?
Save scum in the boss chest.
I assume, yeah. I don't know if save scumming's actually faster in this situation, but go off 64. I think this means that there has to be a second sword mid-lock.
Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of.
Whether it be directly mid-locked or like eventually mid-locked by something like a sword on Levias and Ferrari's courage in a dig spot.
Or maybe, for instance, there's a sword on one of the sky checks and Ferrari's courage might be locked inside a dig spot. Since Ferrari's trial has
the rocks.
Yeah, something convoluted like that. But yeah, again,
now we should hope that
really
64 doesn't try to read the logic and get baited.
Yeah.
I would go as far as saying that 64 is at risk now.
Very at risk.
Despite having a big advantage previously. Amber's at the end of Skyview, and is the item that put is the thing that put Battlecats back in this race.
And getting mitts.
I should say
the hint logic
diminish
is put him at a good chance.
Yeah, diminish.
464 had a good lead. Now 64's in danger, and I'm saying that with the voice of Ralph from The Simpsons. I'm in danger.
I'm in danger.
I'm in danger. Sword and volcano.
We already knew that, but
that would be why the mitts is sorts then.
Well, we.
Oh, did we get one of our swords in volcano?
Yeah, that 64 got the sword from Digspot RBM in volcano.
Well, hang on. That would explain why the mitts are definitely sorts then, because without Digspot RBM, you'd need the mitts to get that sword.
Yeah, but you don't need to get that sword necessarily. Because you only need to find 3 swords out of the 4. Did C64 do the slingshot fight? I assume he did. And I just wasn't paying attention at the time.
I wasn't paying attention either. But if I were Battlecats right now, I'd be beelining system.
Technically speaking, 64 is in go mode at this point.
Yeah.
Technically speaking, he just doesn't realize it.
If 64 remembers that bombs are on tempo.
I guess it's more no mode than go mode. But
yeah. Once they get bombs, I'd say they're go mode. Fifth swords in system.
They're both technically in no mode, actually.
Be technical Battlecats doesn't know for certain where his 4th sword is. He thinks it should be in a dig spot, but he didn't RBM it, so he's not absolutely sure.
He doesn't, but he can reach it, so.
Yeah. So yeah, I'd say no mode.
That's absolutely in no mode at this point, though. Like, without question.
Would you want to bet that the hint that tells you where scale is in Zancy?
That's a very real possibility. We've seen quite a few item hints, though, so it's totally possible that there aren't anymore. Technically, the Emerald Tablet from Batro is extra past the Galactos. Yeah, no spiral charge from the Farron trial today, unfortunately.
For lucky 64 will think the mitts were leading directly to his last sword that he got on the RBM. If we're not, then 64 is going to get baited hard.
I guess for 64, he's probably just going to keep chasing density at this point. But
Now just notice neither runner getting circles.
just hope 64 doesn't get baited. If 64 doesn't get baited, I think he has this.
All comes down to if he stays in Linear or not.
Yeah. If he leaves Linearu, he's not out of the running. It just gets a lot tighter.
Yeah.
Oh, Battlecats didn't know about the Sword and Cistern.
Nope.
Until just now. Okay.
So Battlecats knows both Swords and Cistern, and the mitts are useful for something.
He also knows that there's a sword in Volcano that he hasn't gotten, which means it has to be mitts locked, so.
Oh, was Volcano actually hinted to have a sword?
Yeah, that was hinted on the cave stone.
Okay, I just thought it was Volcano was hinted to swords in general.
Yeah, but that was claw shots, so.
Yeah.
And 2 swords doesn't make a region sots, unfortunately. It makes access to the region sots-able, but.
Yeah, that's why you're arguing against my logic that those claws indicated the Mitt sword then, because that Mitt sword's already been hinted.
What is our record for fastest Season 2 seed? Chat, does anyone know?
If you give me a minute, I can probably check.
This may very well be in the running for it.
No, I can't check. I know it was very quick though, like well below 130.
Below 130? I don't remember below 130.
Yeah, I think it was a 120 game. I can't mind which one it was though.
That might have been in Swiss, actually. I've kind of just forgotten about Swiss at this point. Regardless, this seed is shaping up to be one of, if not the fastest S2 seeds. Come on, 64, don't leave.
Esme, oh yes, what's happened?
Swiss feels like it was so long ago at this point.
Considering
I guess it was like 2 months ago. Alright, 64 is going to be staying here. No? Yes. No?
No!
64, what are you doing?
Should I stay or should I go now?
He just played. Oh, he might have talked to Dodo.
I'll give him that. If he just goes to Dodo and back, then I'll forgive him for that one.
He is chasing the mitts. 64 has been baited. We have been baited. Long have we awaited, or something. Yeah, this check is weighing in on the back of his mind here. Interestingly, so far we have seen both, like, all the bottles we know are mids-locked.
Now 64 has been baited. Long has this been awaited. For a long time it has been fated. Now our bloodlust shall be sated.
Just crystals, rip 64.
Now imagine 64 chases that to bat 50.
I doubt it. I do not see a realistic scenario where he does that. Alright, so Battlecat's entering Earth Temple here. He will get to one-trip it. The thing is at this point is that if 164 finds out that it's not here, like, he just is out. Like, he just goes back to desert. He doesn't have anywhere else to go.
Oh, I don't think either of them have checked this specific hint he's going for now. This could be what he's looking for.
I think Battlecat's checked it. Hollow Tree holds a Rupor and progressive minutes on Drew Master's sword. That's a first.
Yeah.
So much for that bottle. I love when the TMS hint is an item. Not only because it means you don't have to think about that item ever again, but also because usually when it's an item, it's just a big meme. Like, we once had an amber tablet on TMSC.
That sounds hilarious. Battle.
That was a seed that was a race seed that got aborted for some reason.
And my question is 64 going to go and try and check that bottle locked hint?
I wouldn't blame him.
That's exactly what he's going to do. Well, chasing the hints has got them this far.
Yeah, this is a reasonable play.
And it gives him a quicker exit as well since he's got the bottle now. Well, it'd be quicker if he had to. Like, even a desert sorts right now would help the guy.
Yeah, I mean, desert sots would just send him on the right path. Instead, he found out that
The Vise is dead.
and that he doesn't have to think about don't know. Yeah, and 64 getting punished now for doing the RBM because he just passed past the location. $64 is still in this. His chance of victory is just dwindling very rapidly, though.
Just says how quickly things can change here.
Rando gonna rando. She's a fickle demon.
Yep. I was worried for half a second 64 was getting baited into a trial.
No, I forgot that he hasn't done these checks. He wouldn't do that trial. There's not a chance.
With that bottle, I hope it doesn't get baited into Kina. Or Fledge. Bottle opens way too much as far as fetch quests are concerned.
Yeah. I don't think 64 is going to get baited into fetch quests here. Although he knows that this is the only logically accessible bottle. But he has all of Desert. There's no way. Then at a certain point you should have to make the assumption that there is another bottle, because there are still 3 more bottles to be found.
Yeah.
There's gotta be one in Desert.
Just if he thinks those mitts were the sorts for bottle, and then he has 2 checks in Sky. The Sky for 3 checks in Sky for the bottle. We've got Oriel, we've got Fledge, and we've got Kina.
Yeah, technically they could all be bottles.
It's just up to however 64's mind's going to work. Check density or hints.
64 also hasn't seen the caves hint yet, which could drive him back to Linearu, but it would drive him to do Linearu in the wrong order, which would probably cost him the race at this point. I still think this is 64's race to lose, though.
Like 64's doing what I'd do right now. Battlecats staying Linearu was completely out of the left field for me, and yeah, it was the right option.
Yeah, I agree. Very weird. Especially without bombs. If Battlecats had bombs, I would be a lot more inclined to think that that was a reasonable play. Oh, is he just gonna go for bomb flowers, Caldera? Even though he knows bombs have to be in the dungeon? I like it. It's a ballsy play. He's got moxie.
64's checking White Blade, is it?
Yeah, Blade of White.
I can never remember what order all the blades are in.
Which I thought was hinted, but I'm not sure.
No.
It obviously wasn't if 64 is doing it. 64 is usually pretty meticulous about his hints. 64 and I have that in common. Made our co-op run much better. Yeah, it's garbage. Honestly, there is like
I don't think there's a single good thing in Thunderhead bar that sword.
Chance that like something 64 could have done would have been saved at the statue in Desert and just save scummed all of this. But then he'd be save scumming away a bottle, a crystal pack. Alright, 64, this is your last chance to...
He's getting bottle baited.
Although at this point, the bottle has to be sought, actually. He's correct. It's just not for scale. It has to be a sword. Because there was nothing in the dig spots. So I guess it could be the Skyview dig spot.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sometimes I wish there was 2 extra buttons in the tracker, one for no mode and one for what do you call it? One for chat noise.
Yeah, they did, Esme. Well, one was hinted as well. 3 Eyes was hinted to have one. And the other was... Actually, we had a completely vanilla Skyview dungeon layout today.
We also had vanilla Skyview music.
Both small keys and the map were vanilla. The H was not, actually, so never mind. Battlecats spun a total of 6 eyes in Skyview. And if Battlecats is gonna keep having some problems with Scaldera here. 64 is getting baited, yeah. He's not going back to desert.
The Randall right now is only thinking hook, line and sinker.
Alright, Battlecat gets through with that bomb bag. Is he going back for the Skyview dig spot?
Oh, thank God, I thought it was going to be worse. I thought it was going Owlin.
No, we know Alan is dead. It was hinted.
Oh.
He also hasn't started Alan, so...
That's why I was worried, because he hadn't even started it. If it was Battlecats that was going back to do Owlin, I was rooting for Battlecats, that'd be one thing, because that's just a quick down and up.
At this point, 64 has lost the race.
Yeah. And the one major thing that cost him it was getting baited by Mitts. I think it's safe to put Battlecats in go mode now.
Yeah, not until he gets the sword, technically.
Fair enough, yeah.
Yeah, that is pretty ouch.
Yeah, 64 just shaking his head like, no. I'm stupid.
Maybe stupid.
Yeah. Since we're going to get some new music from Battlecats, let's change the music over to that side. Like 8 times the charm.
I need to do a seed with the custom music pack. With the one that I have, which is just Battlecats' pack. The most important quality of the Battlecats music pack is that you get to jam to the Spirit Tracks overworld theme in the sky. Number one most important piece of the thing.
Do you know if next season they're going to be allowing proper custom music?
Most likely. Alright, well there's the sword for B-Cats.
That's go mode.
That is indeed go mode. He can get all of his keys. He's just gotta find the key. Yep, unfortunately.
$6 banked hard on that bottle and it's cost him.
He banked you hard on mitts.
Yeah.
One of these checks has to be a sword, is the weirdest part of this.
Yeah, it's the only thing it can be.
Like either Fledge or Hina has to be a sword. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Oh, B-Cats. Bad angle. I love that trick is finally catching on. A holdover from good old Whipless Cistern. You know, if in any circumstance the AC boss key skip ever gets unbanned and we get something like boss shuffle for Rando, you could see a completely whipless Cistern with bed trick. Wouldn't that be a sight to see bed trick in a tournament?
How does the boss key skip work? I've never actually seen it.
There are in fact two boss key skips. There is the one that is reasonable to do in Rando, which is it is the pumpkin patch crystal flag. So you need the same bit magic or the bed trick may or may not be banned. That's actually a really good question. I'm not actually sure of that offhand. I should know the answer to that. I don't think bed trick is banned because there are no actually useful applications of bed trick in Rando. Because the most useful applications break other rules. I think the only useful application of bed trick in Rando is the stale entrance warp and cistern. But anyway, you need the same setup file that you need for Sans for the sea chart skip to get Patro at night so that you can get crystals and And then you just collect the crystal, and it opens the boss door. Or you can gamble on no layer 5 crash. That is a thing you can do. It would be ill-advised to do so. But the alternative is a trick called a stale entrance warp, where it's kind of similar to Eat in HD, except you don't actually clip. It's similar mechanics, where we take an entrance from a different part of the dungeon, like an entrance index, and apply it to the wrong room in the dungeon to put us somewhere where we don't belong. Basically, we take the rope climbing entrance into the main floor and main area of Cistern and use it to spawn us at the top of the statue by the boss load zone. Bed trick is just extremely difficult to do. It's a one-frame trick. There's a one-frame trick, and I believe there is no visual or audio cue for it. It is pure timing. I think you could set a metronome for it, but... I guess 64 is just going all in on the checks he's here for. Ooh, B-Cat's clipping back in bounds. I mean, the more time B-Cat's wastes here, the more opportunity 64 has to come back.
B-Cat's glitching about trying to skip there.
I did just check the rules and I don't see anything against that trick. But I did only look quickly.
Watching 64-bit right now, just a quote pop in my head. It's abandon all hope to ye who enter here. Just look at everything 64's doing.
No, it's a bottle on that check.
More crystals.
Logically, yes, that is possible. I'm pretty sure, at least.
The rest 64 must be under right now trying to find this and us knowing that he's never going to.
Yeah. Scale is in Fire Node. And 64 consciously decided to leave Linero.
I think his mind just went, got what I wanted for Linero, it's useless now. Not even giving the Linero a second thought.
Yet another P ouch.
Next on 64's list, Kina.
Oh no, Battlecats got the statue clip.
Oh!
I haven't seen that in ages. Oh, that sucks. Skyward Sword is a perfect game with no flaws whatsoever.
If that was true, we wouldn't have half these tricks.
I love, like, it's really funny because Skyward Sword is, like, known for having good collision. Like, that is, like, its claim to fame in the Zelda community. Well, one of its claims to fame. Is that, like, it is, like, an hour 30 speedrun, like, any percent, like, almost completely without, like, clipping through walls, or anything of that variety.
Unless I'm wrong, one of the only ones that's better than that's Twilight Princess.
Yeah, but Twilight Princess does have rupee sliding.
Okay, I assume by the rupee slide you mean that, like, 6-hour trick? The one in Arbiters? Then fair enough, yeah, but that's less a collision trick and more a character model issue.
Someone hypothesized that rupee sliding could exist in SSR, and it doesn't.
Now,
I think someone checked
the reason the rupee sliding works there is due to the fact that the animation's technically missing a tiny part of it that makes you backstep a fraction of a pixel every time it does the idle animation. And just over time, it goes back and back and back and back and back. The single category I think that's used in is low percent. Now the question is 64 going to manage to get the scale before Battlecats beats the game?
It seems reasonable that he would.
Is 64 going for the hint zone?
Yeah, he has to be.
I guess
I mean, he's just looking for information at this point.
Yeah. Is that Botgy Caveski?
Possibly? I don't know, I wasn't looking. Okay, there's 2 more sword hits. Okay. So TMS is Insanity. Does that mean Kina has to have Cave's Key?
I'm pretty sure I just saw Cave's Key off of Bot G, that's the weird thing.
Hey, we can ask Battlecats.
Yeah. Yeah, he's may say that Cave's Key wasn't Bot G. What the hell is on Kina? What was on the Levi's again?
It was garbage, whatever it was. Like 64 might just get scaled before Battlecats wins. Yep. I really like Battlecats' message on his stream. WTF is going on? Nice phase 2 from Battlecats here if he gets this down. No, he stabbed too close. Also, I would like to say that we have figured out what the SOT's logic was. Mitts did in fact block 2 swords because East Island chest in Thunderhead was also a sword. So 2 Mitts locked swords.
Yeah, that would do it. I forgot about that being Mitts locked because.
So did everyone else.
Why is that logically Mitts locked? Like everyone and their grandmother can do the drop on that.
It didn't used to be. It's a trick now. It's not because it's difficult. It's because it's unintuitive and mostly unintended. Well, I'd argue completely unintended, but. It's one of those tricks where you have to remember that. One of the things where you just have to remember the chord of logic. Quirky logic is always interesting. So 64 does get his scale, and Battlecats has knocked Demise down. All he's got to do is restun and knock him down and stab and aim. GG's. Now if the bot would tell us, there we go. 249.14. And 64 will indeed DNF. I believe we will be joined by at least 64 for the interview.
Yeah, they both are. Hey guys.
Hello.
Hey.
GG's Battlecats.
GG.
I know you've got somewhere to be, Battlecats. So, how do you feel about facing the Jazzniks? Question mark. I think is.
Oh, I have to play Jazzniks.
that is the acceptable reaction.
Anyone else is fine, but Jazzniks is scary.
Fair enough.
Like even Jim is easy. Jazzniks, I'm scared, but it's okay.
So now, how do both of you feel about that seed?
Seed was great. I just played terribly the whole match.
Yeah, that seed I just got ruined by an edge case in the logic.
Yeah. To be fair, it confused everyone up until Battlecats made the realization in the race room afterwards.
Yeah, because it was basically, I saw the Mind Sots hint, and then when I got the mitts there, I'm like, okay, so the only item I have left for go mode is scale, and I just assumed that scale would somehow be mitts locked. So I basically chased everything mitts locked, only to find absolutely nothing. And yeah, the edge case being that the East Island chest logically requires mitts, even though literally nobody uses mitts to get it.
I don't know. I've seen people use mitts to get it if they happen to have mitts.
Or or they miss. But yeah, it's like most of the time you just land up above and hop down. So
nobody will leave Thunderhead without checking that just because they don't have mitts. That's a better way to put it.
People who don't know you can do that.
Well, I think Lucifer's just saying don't go out of logic, which would maybe be the smart thing, but
Well, 64, you played really well. You played your out of logic cards very, very well this season.
Yeah, you had a massive lead for going out of logic, especially with going to Earth Temple so early. it just went down the drain in the last half hour.
Yeah, well, especially getting the Earth Temple Path to Scaldera hint.
That's gotta be my new all-time favorite hint.
I got that, and I'm like, okay, that most likely means bomb bag in Earth Temple, so I'm like, I'm just gonna rush that. Plus the early Fire Shield earring, so I had multiple incentives to do the Rock RBM and go into Deep Elden. And that part of the seed worked out really well. And then I was going to go for 10 loose crystals, and instead, and then I happened to get a 5-pack while I was getting crystals. So I'm like, okay, now I only need 5. And then I just happened to get my way up to 40 before I even went.
Shout out to you getting mugged and then getting lucky enough on pot drops to get back to full rubies, and then spending all 600 rupees.
Yeah, that was a thing. Yeah, it's one of those. I don't know. I know people have the varying opinions of whether you should talk to Pero before going to Beetle. But I think just the way I routed just made it so I naturally had to do that. And it's just unfortunate that he had to have a Rupor.
Yeah. Your pathing, like, in a lot of situations just made so much sense, and sometimes it just like you just got like micro punished a bunch of times. It's always funny to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I was scratching my head when Battlecats went through Lineru instead of following the mitts like you did 64, and then when it paid off, I was like, hang on, I'm sorry, what just happened? I was just thinking,
up until we confirmed that Lineru tablet was in Skyview, 64-year lead was all but insurmountable. But the amber at the end of Skyview is the single thing that put Battlecats back in the race.
Yeah, I mean the one thing was I basically was fully expecting Amber Tablet to be there because I kind of, from all the hints I had, I kind of worked out that it basically had to be Amber Tablet, eventually leading to Scale.
Yeah, like,
it's just
logically it was obvious what it had to be, but like it was just unfortunate for your advantage, because that just like killed all the advantage you had.
Okay, so I guess B-Cats did Skyview first.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I guess that.
He did early Elden, which made all the difference for that pathing.
Yeah. Until B-Cats cleared mines, Dad's under the impression that we were going to be finding Scale in mines. And then that never happened.
Yeah. And then you blew up the Rock 64 in Desert, and I thought you were staying.
Yeah, because that was the point where I was like, I'm gonna start chasing myths. And basically, if it's just that it's unfortunate that the myths led me on the Wild Goose chase.
Yeah, you got goosed.
At least it wasn't forgetting an item that made me lose this time.
Yeah.
Good. Yes, the last time B-Cats and I faced in a tournament setting, actually, it's like in both tournaments, B-Cats has eliminated me. The first time was I was the one that gave rise to the 64-bit chest in Fire Sanctuary. Because
64 gore.
Yes, I 64 gore that chest.
Yeah, I remember that match.
Yeah.
Was that SGL?
That was season 1. That was season 1.
That was that long ago? Jesus.
Yes.
God. This community makes me feel old sometimes. Quote dust, anybody?
I'm sure that will get quoted in spam.
Anyways, yeah, the scene was pretty straightforward in the end. I don't know that we have any questions for you guys. Do you guys have anything that you guys want to highlight or comment on?
Not really. I mean, the stupid cistern clip too at the top of the cistern was kind of annoying.
Oh yeah, that happened.
My cistern clipping was all messed up today, but it's okay.
You clipped through the statue so well though.
True.
I haven't seen that clip in ages. That was funny to watch.
Oh, is
Can't wait
that
to
the
watch
clip that happens at that can happen at the top after you raise the statue?
Yeah, where you just like clip through the ledge.
Yes.
Yep.
That has happened. Yep, that definitely has happened to me before.
First time I've ever seen that there, so it was.
Yeah, there's some weird like ledge clipping in Skyward Sword, like specifically the ability to like clip through uneven floor, but it's especially prevalent with rocks. We've seen a bunch of people do it accidentally in like the nodes in Lineru, where they just like roll the right way into the geometry of the rock and just clip through the floor.
Yeah. We had a new in this season back in Swiss that happened in one of the nodes.
Yeah.
Can't remember who did that one. But they were just underneath the sand before the time shift stone's been hit.
Yeah. I don't got anything else for you guys.
I think that's about it from me.
Same.
I'd like to go to bed.
Agreed. It's 4 o'clock in the morning for me right now.
Yeah, you've got it worst. So
Yeah.
thank you for picking up the restream, of course.
It's fine. Enjoy this stuff.
At least we had a
team's
relative.
anyway.
Yeah, we were thinking that if that like 64 of you didn't leave Desert, this could have been like a 1-3x for you.
Yeah. But yeah, at least we got a short seed.
Yeah. At least I've never rolled a proper jet seed yet. It's going to happen eventually. It's probably going to happen soon. But it's not happened yet. Do you want me to close this up then?
Yeah, I think we're good.
Alright,
Yeah.
everyone. Thanks for joining us. Hope to see you next run, which I believe is Jim versus Yal Finals Game 2. That's going to be tomorrow at 12 midnight UTC. So hope to see you there and hope you enjoyed.